The following podcast may contain adult language and an abundance of salt, so get ready, nerds, because we're talking The Falcon and Winter Soldier, Episode 3. Welcome and thank you for joining us on the Salty Nerd Podcast. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about The Falcon and Winter Soldier, Episode 3, entitled
Power Broker.
The Power Broker. And I'm joined, as always, by my fantastic panel of nerds, starting with Matt Vader 74. What's up, dude?
Not a lot, man. How are you?
I'm also joined by Jude.
Enthusiasm.
Welcome, Jude.
Meh.
Meh. And Matthew Kadish, producer of the show. All right, guys.
That was our review of Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I really wish the show was better.
God, I want to like it so bad.
Hey, how about that part where Zemo was dancing, though?
That was pretty dope.
Yeah.
You guys didn't like Zemo?
I love his character.
Yeah, I like Zemo.
Well, what is your problem?
It was just
Everything else?
dull.
I have a lot of problems, but so I found out some insider information
Oh, boy.
this week.
Oh, my.
Yes.
Wrong show.
Oh, sorry.
So this Falcon and Winter Soldier series was supposed to be the first one that Marvel put out. But because it got delayed due to Corona, they were able to finish WandaVision first. And so this was actually supposed to follow WandaVision in terms of the release schedule originally.
Did it get delayed because of Corona, because of reshoots because of Corona?
Well, they had to stop production in the middle of doing it. And,
Okay.
and so like that put them behind schedule. And then basically there was this whole subplot, and you can kind of see it a little bit more in this episode than previous episodes, but they had a virus outbreak subplot in the show where people were basically getting infected with some type of like very deadly disease. And it was going to be a big subplot like through all 6 episodes. And because Disney thought that it was too sensitive to have like a virus episode or a viral outbreak in the middle of a pandemic, they decided to cut it out. And so like they had to go back and like reshoot and retool a bunch of stuff for the series. And like if you look at really closely, you can kind of see like how they've put a Band-Aid over like a lot of the stuff in this episode. So I'm just wondering like you know, what changed with the removal of this virus subplot, and where were they going to go with it?
Well, I think that would have made more sense. And I think that like things being true to the times would have been interesting. I wouldn't have been like too sensitive to watch a show though. There's an outbreak. Like when
watched Utopia.
Yeah.
when coronavirus started, everybody was watching like Contagion.
Yeah, I gotta hate it when studios try to be the whatever.
Moral compasses.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
it's just like-
saviors of society, bro.
Yeah, like,
Read the room.
Like I really hate it when studios make creative choices for stuff that, like, you know, 10 years down the road, those changes are still going to make that thing bad, but like people aren't going to be as sensitive to the topic. And so like I'd rather that they just like stick to their guns and let the show tell the story that it was meant to tell, rather than try to change it. Because do you remember like around like 9/11 when they cut out anything that had to do with like an airplane and like a TV show? or a
Yeah,
movie?
anything that had the Twin Towers in it, they just took out.
That was also part of the issue with Superman, Man of Steel,
Oh, yeah.
because it came out a few years after that, right?
Did it?
No, a long time after
Well, I mean,
that.
but still, people were
The imagery of
the buildings being destroyed and all this kind of stuff were still.
it wasn't
brought
Man
up.
of Steel. It was like Transformers or something.
There was some movie that got made. Yeah, I don't know, but it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, a pandemic breaks out. TNT should like run a 24-hour marathon of Contagion.
But I'm wondering how many of the show's issues stem from this hasty like rewrite and reshoot thing to get rid of this subplot and have it still make sense.
I don't know.
So
I don't know either. But all right, let's dive into this third episode, middle of the season.
Yep.
Okay, so take it away, and we will interrupt you as we see.
all right, so we are at the midpoint of the season with episode 3 out of 6, entitled "The Power Broker." And our first scene is John Walker raids a Flag Smasher safe house and yet strikes out, unable to find any lead on the Flag Smashers. What did you guys think of this scene?
This dude looks like a cheap mock-up.
I don't like him.
I don't like him.
He's
either.
kind of an idiot.
I think they're trying to like make his transition into a bad guy happen quicker.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a little forced for me because, like, the last episode, he was a really nice guy and we should be rooting for him. And now all of a sudden,
He's a jerk.
becoming a jerk.
It's getting
Yeah.
very impatient.
I have to
Yeah.
say though, like when that dude spit in his face,
Well, that would have made anybody mad.
I know, but he didn't do anything about it. Like
Yeah, he didn't like beat him. He just like yelled at him.
he
a
just
little bit.
stared at him real angrily.
He said, "Do you know who
Do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am?
Like, okay,
Yeah.
Joffrey Baratheon.
Right. If you have to tell people that you're Captain America,
Then you're not really Captain America. Exactly. I don't know. That's my only thought for that. Is just he just feels like a cheaper version.
Any of the stuff with fake Captain America, I don't really like.
Kind of aggravating, huh?
Let's talk about Zemo.
I'm like, he's not superhero, so why is he doing this stuff to begin with? And I can't get past that. So
Yeah, I'm having a hard time. Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be rooting for him or not. Like Jude said, last episode we were supposed to kind of root for him, and then this episode we're like, he's a bad guy now, or he's kind of a douche. I guess I'm just going to go forward thinking that he's a douche.
got not Cap and not Bucky.
He's going to accidentally get dosed on the last episode, and then he's going to go berserk, and then it's going to be a big cliffhanger for season 2 where he's
I want
the bad guy.
Bucky to beat the living piss out of him.
Same.
That would be amazing. All right, Katie, what happens next?
All right, so next, Bucky meets with Zemo and breaks him out of prison.
I didn't hate this.
He didn't break him out of prison.
Yeah, he
Zemo
did.
broke himself out of prison.
Yeah.
They like montaged his way out of
Yeah.
prison.
I liked how they did that.
Really?
Yeah.
But you know, he just basically goes in there and is like, hey man, I need you to bust out of here.
Yeah.
Right? I
Yeah.
mean, he didn't.
He's like, "We need your help."
Did he
And
give him
Zemo's
something?
like, that's all I've been waiting for, buddy.
Yeah.
like he could have
Copy that.
Like he had the key card for his book
Yeah.
to get out already in his cell.
Yeah.
So he's just waiting for an
He
excuse.
just needed a friend.
Yeah.
I'll meet you outside.
Listen, I know you guys are shitting on this episode. I like Zemo in this.
Oh,
I
Zemo's
did
awesome.
too.
I like
I
the
did
whole
too.
Zemo storyline in this show. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it very much.
I did too. I did, that one character, because like, he's one of my favorite Marvel villains
when
of all time.
I know we're gonna go. I'm probably getting ahead, so I'll let you do your thing. But I'll comment.
I was
So one of the interesting things that I thought, so you know, like we think that Bucky has broken the programming of Hydra, and the first thing Zemo does,
Yeah.
It starts spouting the words.
is start spouting the control words. But the thing is interestingly enough, Bucky does everything Zemo tells him to.
Yep.
So did he really break the program?
I think he just had enough leverage over him.
No,
Yeah.
but I mean, like, so like let's say Bucky
I think you're giving the writers a little too much.
I might be,
I do too.
but let's say Bucky thinks that he's broken his programming, but like Zemo knows that, you know, the programming's still like in there, even if Bucky's not aware of it, because Bucky was Zemo's biggest supporter throughout this entire freaking episode. And it makes me wonder, is Bucky actually being controlled by Zemo?
I don't think so.
So Bucky does help him get out, because we have it on the screen here, and there was a real quick second that I missed.
Like Zemo wouldn't have been able to escape without Bucky's help.
Yeah, Bucky started the riot,
Yeah.
which is what started the domino effect of being able to get Zemo out. So he did help him get out, but it was mostly Zemo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did think that was really cool. Like immediately, as soon as Bucky comes on screen, Zemo starts just spouting off his code words, and I'm like, that dude's just messing with his head. It's so cool. I love Zemo. He's such a badass.
He's got his badass.
Oh, dude, the fuzzy collar,
jacket.
but the trench coat,
Got his mask.
with his belt buckle, even his
Looking boss.
dude. I love it too. And it was funny because when they got to the airport or whatever, when they're leaving the area, Falcon's like, "You're rich," and he's like, "Yes. Before you leveled my town, I was royalty."
Yeah, so basically the next scene, Zemo reveals that he's rich and teams up with Sam and Bucky to take them to Madripor to follow a lead. And this is where
And like all of his servants are like, it's good to have you back,
He's
sir.
like freaking Bruce Wayne.
I know.
So badass.
yeah, apparently Hydra has some great medical benefits and dental
Uh-huh.
benefits, all types of stuff. But yeah, so he reveals that he was a baron in Sokovia, and you know, he's got all types of resources outside of, you know, royalty, things of that nature.
Which makes you wonder why he spent all that time being locked up, where he could have just like
Broken out.
I'm still
Yeah.
convinced that he could have gotten out anytime he wanted.
I
It's
agree.
possible.
I think he was
So-
waiting for Bucky.
So he's from Sokovia, which is the same country that Vision or that Scarlet Witch and
Yeah.
Pietro are from, right?
Yeah.
Where's Barovia?
Barovia.
That's Doctor Doom's country,
No,
isn't it?
Latveria is Doctor Doom's country.
Is it Latveria? I
Yeah.
thought it was Barovia.
No, it's Latveria. Because he was the
It's been a while.
Latverian.
But
ruler.
has that country ever been mentioned?
No.
Not yet.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll hear it in one of these TV shows.
Yeah.
I will say though, like there was one thing while I was watching it, I didn't mind because he's very much like a Bruce Wayne. Like he's got his Alfred and he's got his jet and he's got all his resources and stuff.
He's bad Bruce Wayne.
He's badass Bruce
He
Wayne,
really
right?
kind of is. Yeah.
I like that. I really do like that. I don't want this to sound like I'm trying to shit on that, but I also feel like everything in this episode was a little too convenient. People almost had too many resources. Like for people who are on the run and who are doing things that they're not supposed to be doing, it was all very much like, oh, let me go get my Mercedes-Benz car and drive right into this town, into this low-life town. I'm like, can we get like a cargo plane or something?
Sharon's like, I can't show my face anywhere. I've been on the run. Also, I'm an arts dealer, and why don't you hang out in my super swanky condo?
Yeah, but she's an arts dealer in this, basically this pirate city.
Yeah, it's like Tortuga.
It's basically what it is. You know, I mean, anybody can go there and not worry about.
We're
the rest.
getting ahead of
Yeah.
Cadus
Yeah.
though.
All right. So Carly visits her adoptive mother, Mama Doña Medini, in a hospice for displaced like refugees. Where
Blip survivors or whatever.
Yeah, but she's like dying of tuberculosis.
Which is common.
Oh,
now.
are we talking about Enfys Nest?
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they said that like this is happening a lot with
refugees.
refugees. Yeah.
And-
People who are
and-
displaced.
And this was the subplot that was cut out, the virus subplot,
Yeah.
where basically they've retooled it so that it's just like a generic, like kind of thing with refugees. But in the original version, this was actually the virus, I think, must have been an outgrowth over the super soldier experiments and stuff like that.
Should have just left it alone.
Should have left it alone.
Yeah.
Pretty sure tuberculosis killed more people than COVID.
So,
Let me Google that.
Sam, Bucky, and Zemo disguise themselves and go to a bar in Madripor to meet with a female crime boss named Shelby. Do you guys remember the Star Trek Picard episode where basically they go to like a crime planet and they get
Yes.
they get into they dress up as pimps and they go to like a bar to meet with a female crime boss?
Yes. Yeah.
I feel like they're just lampooning that episode.
Except this was way
one.
better.
This was better because it wasn't Jean-Luc Picard.
It wasn't 7 and 9 just descending to straight up murder somebody. And
But Sam's sister ruins their cover with a phone call,
But-
and
Oh,
Selby
so
is killed.
stupid.
Selby is killed by a sniper, triggering a bounty, $1 billion bounty, and the sniper is Sharron Carter, who protects Sam and Bucky.
Okay.
Before that,
Yeah.
the scene in the bar where we get to see him go full Winter Soldier.
Yes.
That was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was
All right?
dope.
He just like kicked their asses. It was great.
Sam has to drink some snake parts.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. Ugh.
even before that, when Sam's walking around, he's like, "Man, why am I the one who looks like a pimp?" And Zemo's like, "Only an American would think a fashion-forward black man looks like a pimp." I'm like,
that was a good line.
what a boss line!
He looked good.
Yeah, I think the cover was bullshit. Oh, I'm the smiling tiger. Like you're telling me that nobody knows what this dude looks like,
Right.
But they know his favorite drink.
Well, they had a picture of
I,
him.
I also think it's kind of funny that they're relying on all black men look alike to get that bias.
That's so dark.
They're like, oh yeah, Sam, you could pass for
You
this
could
guy. You're
pass this-
black.
this
As long
night-
as he's wearing a dapper suit and drinks that weird snake thing, yeah, it's probably him.
It's probably him. Yeah, that seemed real thin to me. I was like, does nobody know what this guy looks like? Like, why isn't they trying to like change his face around a little bit, shave his beard
it's
or
funny because
something?
they show the picture of the guy he's supposed to be, and Sam's like, I do look like that guy, and I'm like, no, you don't.
It was weird, man. And the bartender too. The bartender was like, is this really the guy? And then he drinks the snake, I don't know, vodka. What was that?
Gizzard? I don't know.
I don't know what it was either. But he
Venom
drinks that,
sac
and then
coming
that's
out.
what sells the bartender. Like, oh, okay, only one person would ever drink that.
It must be that
Must
guy.
be that
they
guy.
keep those snakes in a jar just for this guy.
Yeah, but they don't know what he looks like. It's so thin. Anyway,
But
okay.
but that scene where like Sam's sister calls him, like
Oh.
Sam,
So stupid.
number one, he'd be able to be tracked on his cell phone. Sam would know not to bring his own personal cell phone on a mission with him.
Yeah.
I mean, in worst case scenario, you gotta just like have that
Put
on
it on
silent.
silent? You know what's funny? This is a dumb thing that I noticed, but when he answered his phone and it said Sarah, he was connected to the Wi-Fi in whatever area he was in. He had
Was
the
he
little,
really?
yeah, he had the little Wi-Fi symbol on. I'm like,
That's funny.
yeah, Wi-Fi at this bar, Bucky or Falcon? Like, what's going on here, buddy? I don't know. It was a dumb thing that I realized. But yes, that whole sequence, answer it. And he answers and it's like, hey, Sarah, what's up? Like, bro, what are you doing?
Shut it down.
Put a freaking accent on and be like, I'm sorry, you have the wrong number. And just hang up, you know what I mean? Like,
hang up silence.
Do literally anything else
Yeah.
but what you did.
Yeah.
It was nonsense. Complete nonsense.
Don't give her the opportunity to be like, my kids are the Cheerios.
That's what set it off too. Jamie, give me my Cheerios back. It's just like,
no, she called him Sam. Like he kept her on long enough for her to use his name, and that's what blew their cover.
I'm gonna kill that banker. What did you say, Sam? Like, oh my god, it was so dumb, so dumb. that took me out of the show.
We laundered so much money. Ha ha ha.
Can't get a loan.
And his dumbass sister is just like, huh?
What? So terrible.
He's undercover.
That made no sense.
Yeah.
I don't know why Sam would even put himself in that situation. And
Was that scene why we had to spend half of episode 1 with his sister?
yeah.
And then Sharon.
Oh yeah, because it ties back real good.
Yeah, very good.
Then Sharron Carter kills Shelby and basically triggers a bounty that makes them all hunted people.
Now we're doing a John Wick movie.
Yeah.
So.
I had horrible flashes of the George Clooney Batman movie during this sequence. Because when they were running away from the bar, and it was
the
like
Bat credit card.
Then no. When they were running away from the bar, it was like the Neon City was behind them. But it was very obvious that as soon as somebody shot a gun, it was like a choreographed. Everybody moved into the 4-way stop, like the motorcycles were going by in sequence. It was very choreographed. It didn't look natural at all. It didn't look like chaos. It looked like everybody had like, okay, well, as soon as you hear this noise, you're going to go, then you're going to go, then you're going to go, then you're going to go. And you see all the motorcycles just drive at the same time. And I'm like, oh no.
The best part of this whole sequence was Zemo's dance.
Yes, I will agree.
White man dancing. looks like he's just doing the jerk off motion.
There's your gift, people.
He's doing the Baron bump.
The Baron bump.
Zemo's a badass in this. Oh, the other thing too, because we're watching it. Remember the face mask, the glow in the dark face mask that one dude was wearing? You didn't see that? Oh god, it was cool as hell.
Oh, okay.
I kind of want one. Like I hate face masks, but I will wear a glow in the dark one.
All right, so we get to see Sharron Carter return as she basically rescues the group.
Yep.
And she takes them back to her place, and she's kind of bitter that she has had to be on the run all this time, and basically she gets a lead on Dr. Nagel, who is the guy that Shelby said was creating the super soldier serum. And she takes the group to a shipping container yard. While Sharon fights off bounty hunters, Sam, Bucky, and Zemo interrogate Dr. Nagel, and Zemo kills him after he gives up a lead on Carly, wanting to heal Doña Madani from tuberculosis.
The fight scenes in this part of the show kind of felt a little too shaky cam for me. They felt very like Jason Bourne Identity-esque, and I wasn't really into it. But I did like when they were interrogating the dude inside his little like container thing, and they open the back secret hatch and they walk in.
I like secret rooms.
Yeah, secret rooms are dope.
I want one.
I want one too.
I do too.
I really want to dig a hole under my house and have like a containment area down there and just like.
You just need a permit for a hole.
Just a permit for a hole. That's it.
Alex's sex dungeon.
You gotta get fixed first.
Things get so weird when Kadish says stuff like that.
That's so awkward.
We're all like, what?
Like
Yeah,
if
you're not
Jude were to
supposed
say that,
stuff like that.
You are not the funny one. Okay? Push your buttons.
if Jude were to say that, we'd all laugh. But
Yeah.
Kadish says it, and we're like,
That's weird, man.
whoa.
How inappropriate.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Anyway,
Says the man who owns a Batman with the world's biggest package on it. So,
You
I
guys,
wish I could turn my phone so you
you
guys
guys
could see.
didn't even notice I put like a Eyes Wide Shut mask on
I
him.
did notice, actually.
Anyway, this show. What did you guys think about this sequence? Did you care at all? Like the doctor, I don't know. The doctor kind of gave up all his information a little bit too
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah, well, he
So nice
was going to die at the end of the scene, so they had to get as much out of him as they
He
could.
had
Yeah.
to get his exposition dump out
Yeah.
so we could kill him. Yeah, for sure.
I was just wondering, how did the bounty hunters track them to this container yard?
Well, they have little fobs. They carry Tells them how old they are.
Did they track Sam's cell phone? Is that how they found him?
Yeah. Sam got a couple more calls from the bank that day, and they tracked him. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, they just show up out of nowhere. And what kills me is that, so like, as they're trying to escape after they kill Dr. Nagel, like one of the bounty hunters just like has a rocket launcher and launches it into the shipping containers. Like he knows exactly where they are. And this whole sequence really bothered me because number one, poor Sharon's out there having to kill all these guys all by herself.
She's killing a lot of dudes.
Well, I actually kind of found that part a little bit amusing.
Amusing?
Yeah.
She's a badass, though.
Because she's a badass. I like her character.
Yeah.
I think she's tougher than John Walker.
She might be.
Like the whole thing with Dr. Nagel, where he basically reveals that he got a sample of Black Captain America's blood, Isaiah's, and he was able to isolate the super soldier protein from that and recreate his the super soldier serum without any of the bulky side effects. So like they explain why people don't all look like Captain America, like Steve Rogers, when they take this serum conveniently. And then like Zemo kills him because Zemo is very much against superpowered individuals.
Yeah.
And once he's dead, basically, the whole thing gets blown up. Bucky, Sam, and Sharon are all kind of pinned down. And Zemo, like he's able to make his escape if he wants to. In fact, like all throughout the Madripor scene, like he could have ditched them if he wanted to. And he puts on his mask finally. And he takes out like one guy, and then like he's like, "Okay, I'm done. Come on, guys." And he takes his mask off.
I think I've made my point.
Yeah. I'm like, what a waste of Zemo.
He's
man.
very dapper.
Because like the actual Baron Zemo in the comics, like he's a very skilled fighter.
Well, he took out three people.
Maybe we'll get more.
He shot one dude off the balcony or off the container, and then he went down and like kung fu'd a couple more guys. It was cool. I thought it was fine. His Zemo's the best character in this episode.
Like he drives up in like a Rolls Royce speedster, and he's like, "Hey guys, get in, losers. We're going."
It was funny because they were all running and they were trying to hide. So they go into this random container, and then he like stops and looks back, and he sees this other container, walks into it, just happens to have a freaking muscle car. Like, that's Zemo. Pulls out on a freaking, I don't know what. Do you remember what it was? It wasn't Rolls Royce, was it?
I don't know. It looked like a fancy car.
Oh, it was like an American muscle car. I thought maybe like a Camaro or something.
Mustang or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It was badass either way. All right, continue. What happens after that?
All right. So after the bounty hunters blow up Nagel's lab and Zemo rides off with Bucky, Sharon gets into her own car with her own driver, leading us to believe that she might actually still be working for S.H.I.E.L.D.
And she's like, we got some problems. You think she's working for S.H.I.E.L.D. or do you think that she's working for the
sword?
What was this episode
Power
called?
Broker?
Power Broker.
Could be.
I just thought it was funny that she had a car waiting there for her. Like in all the destruction, containers are blowing up, people are getting shot at. She just has a car waiting for her right there.
It seems like she really does want to get her name cleared, and she's invested in them like helping her out so she can go back home. And I would believe that she was working for the power broker in order to make ends meet while she's like marooned in this country.
In Tortuga.
Yeah, she seems to be
Madripor.
Yeah, Madripor. She seems to be doing way better as a criminal than she ever did as a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That place she has is dope.
Yeah.
She's got all these fantasy
Did you see her
paintings.
closet?
Oh my God. It's amazing.
It's like they made a John Wick movie. It's amazing.
You think they're just ripping off John Wick?
Absolutely.
All right. So next thing that happens is Infus Nest speaks with Dovich about her mother dying. And then John Walker investigates Nemo's escape and thinks Bucky and Sam were behind it. And so he's going to try to track them down because he thinks they have a lead.
Can we start calling her Lady Carrot Top?
No.
No?
She does kind of look like Carrot Top.
She does.
She does.
Shoot.
Let me pull this thing out of my box.
I don't know.
That's Carrot Top's
I think
thing.
she looks like Infant's Nest.
He's a prop comic. Well,
I know
she
who
is
it-
Infant's Nest.
I know. I don't care.
Anyway.
Doesn't
Please
matter.
continue.
Okay.
This show's so.
On Zemo's plane, Sam talks about Isaiah being experimented on to create Nagel's serum. He thinks that he made a mistake not destroying the shield, and Bucky threatens to take the shield from him before Sam could destroy it because basically Bucky's like, this means something to me, and if you're not going to be Captain America, I will be Captain America. which I thought was interesting. And then Zemo gets info on Mama Madini's location where she died. And so they are going to fly to that place to follow the lead to try to find Carly and the Flag Smashers.
I love that Bucky flexed on Falcon like that.
Yeah.
Like, bro, if you're not going to step up, then I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Steve chose you and you spit in his face. So,
Like, we agree it shouldn't be this guy over here.
yeah,
I think it should be you. But if you don't want it,
I'll have to do
step
it.
up.
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm as mad at Falcon as Bucky is.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, go get the freaking shield.
Yeah.
What do you-
I don't know why Falcon isn't madder.
He should be.
Like, he was duped.
Yeah.
Why aren't you pissed?
Because he's a military man or something. I don't know what his reason was.
Okay, but like when they gave it to Walker, he was like, I don't like it. Make up your mind. Are you a military man or aren't you?
Yeah, I don't
and
know
if
what's
you're
going on with him.
not, then get mad. Have an emotion that's not like, ha ha, my sister, banks.
Is there anything else that happens in this show or in this episode?
Well, we get some Wakandan or something showed up in the end, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get there.
The guard for the princess.
So the Flag Smashers raid a GRC supply facility and then blow it up. And
Woo.
So this was well, this was weird to me because I was watching it. I'm like, okay, so the Flag Smashers are stealing supplies that, according to them in the show, have been sitting for 6 months, stealing them and bringing them to people in need.
They're Robin Hooding.
They're Robin Hooding.
Yeah.
So are they?
I told you, they think that they're good guys.
But are they not?
I don't know.
I feel like they are. I feel like they're being put in a bad light.
well, Carly just killed like a whole bunch of people in that building. So
They're not good,
But they were bad
but
guys.
they're not bad.
Yeah, they were people who were holding supplies against people in
well,
need.
no, did you see all the civilians that they had tied up?
Oh,
behind
yeah.
that
There was,
GRC?
Yeah, but
there was a bunch
dude.
of like,
Luke Skywalker killed 1 million civilians when he blew up the Death Star. So doesn't matter.
and like Godzilla and King Kong
smashed up entire
smashed
cities.
all of
Millions
Hong
of
Kong.
people. So
There's
what's
only
the-
like 10 people alive.
So are they bad guys or not? So the Flag Smashers.
I think they want us to think they are.
I'm not.
I don't know.
I feel like they're the good guys.
Yeah, I think that the military is the bad guy.
Maybe. The show's very
I don't
confusing.
know.
It's
We
got a
guess
lot of
we'll- I
mixed
guess we'll- I
messages.
guess we'll
Nothing
see where
is
it goes.
clear. The rules don't matter.
All right, Kadish, what happens next?
All right. Finally, Sam, Bucky, and Zemo arrive in Riga to track down Carly. But Bucky breaks off to find Ao, who has been hunting down Zemo. And if you don't remember who Ao is, she was one of the Wakandan king's bodyguards. So big, beautiful, bald black woman
Mm.
hunting down Zemo.
They're badass too. All of the King's Wakanda guards are freaking.
Are you thinking of
Not Michonne.
There's two different.
Different one.
okay?
There's two different
So
ones.
I think she was in Civil War, and she was also in
She's probably in Black Panther too.
Black Panther and
Yeah.
Endgame.
Yeah.
Like that.
And then she's the reveal of the week, and you go to credits.
Yeah, but I feel like that would have been a
Was
more
she in that-
impactful reveal if it was Michonne.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was very cool.
Who was in the girls get it done moment of Endgame?
Oh, every female
Every
character.
All of them.
yeah, all of
There
them.
wasn't that one.
Girls get it done.
She'll need help. She's got some. Oh God, ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know, man. This show has so much potential. I love Zemo. I love Bucky. Falcon's dope. All this stuff is really cool, but it's like a failure to launch for a lot of these episodes. And they're like,
It's blah.
yeah, it's very blah, and I don't understand.
And like I had forgotten that Zemo had killed the Wakandan king.
Oh, yeah.
Chadwick Boseman's father.
Mhm.
So like it would have been nice to have like gotten a little bit of like a refresher before like they drop
Yeah,
like
I
something
didn't.
like
I
that at
didn't
the end.
connect that at all.
You guys just aren't Marvel fans. No, I don't know. No, I just like, I don't know. I said it already. There's so much potential in this show, but every time the episode ends, I'm just kind of like, meh. Like, oh well.
Yeah.
See what
Okay.
happens next week.
Yeah, I guess we'll just see what happens.
It's definitely not blowing my socks off. Like
Yeah.
at least by this point in WandaVision, I was like committed. I was like, okay, like I'm enjoying it. I want to see where it's going. Here are my theories. With this one, it's just kind of like I'm along for the ride, and it's just not a very good ride.
I feel like this is like, well, it basically is. It's just a movie that they've chopped up into sections.
This would be one more boring ass movie though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Honestly,
but they made it. They make it a 6-hour movie, but then they need to chop it down to 2.5. And we're just getting the long director's extended cut with all the boring bits.
This
This is the Zack Snyder version.
It's the Snyder version of
Without
this
all the
movie.
slow motion.
yeah. I really, if there was anything I really wish they would have leaned on more, it was the escape from Zemo. I would have been down for like a whole episode just dedicated to breaking Zemo. That would have been awesome.
This whole series should have just been Zemo.
Yeah.
Right.
Give us a Zemo show. Let's do it.
I would
'Cause I
watch
love
a
the-
Zemo show.
The actor's awesome in this show.
Yeah.
He's cool. He's got that like sly kind of like
Jude,
arrogance.
why don't you tell me that the actor speaks like 1 billion different languages?
Yeah, he speaks like, I want to say 12 languages fluently.
Well,
I think his mother was Spanish. His father was, I think, Russian. He's lived all over, and he speaks like a bunch of languages.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
Because
that's why he's got such a weird accent.
he's
Yeah,
like,
I was wondering about, because like with voice acting, like I'll notice people's accents and be like, is that legit or is that yeah. So I did a little deep dive on him, and turns out like he legit speaks all of these language very fluently.
That's awesome. That's cool. I know he was one of my favorite parts of Inglourious Bastards in that movie. He's awesome in that movie. So yeah, all right, that's it. Final thoughts on this episode? Kind of just really, is it that bad?
Honestly, if we weren't reviewing it and we've already committed to reviewing it, I would have quit.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I probably would have. This feels like more of a binge-worthy show. Like episode by episode, it doesn't have enough.
Maybe.
If I spent a day binge watching this, I'd kill myself at the end of the day.
Oh, come on. It's not that bad.
I don't know. I'm more into this than I think I was WandaVision.
Okay.
I don't know why exactly, but I enjoyed this episode. Of the 3 we've gotten, this was my favorite one.
Yeah.
But that's not saying much.
Yeah.
So
I will agree
I
with you.
agree with you.
It's fun. It was visually more fun. It had a lot more action to it. And we got
Zemo saved it. Zemo
Zemo's-
saved it.
Yeah.
I didn't get insulted.
I keep calling him Zema,
by,
like
you
the
know,
Bev.
stuff.
Do you guys have any theories on who the power broker is?
Dr. Doom. I don't know.
No, I'm not gonna.
Do you think the power broker is actually Zemo?
That would be cool.
That would be pretty cool
Nice twist.
because he was running the whole thing from the jail.
Yeah.
And he's just
Yeah,
a shadowy
I just,
figure.
I don't know my Marvel.
But he's against-
I would have liked to know like what, like did Zemo disappear in the snap, or has he been on Earth all 5 years?
Don't know.
I'm not sure.
Getting the impression he's always been there.
Yeah.
Also, he kind of conveniently killed Dr. Nagel before he could talk about anything about his work with the power broker, and so that kind of leads me to believe that Zemo might have something to do with that.
That's weird though, because he's like super anti
Yeah.
super soldiers. Why would he be the one who would facilitate
don't-
more of them being created?
I think it's funny that you
Well,
guys
I think
go
if
there.
we're going by who's writing this nonsense, that's probably what is going to end up happening.
Okay. What were you saying?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, to Jude's point, whatever is the most obvious and laziest answer is
Uh-huh.
probably the correct one.
Nonsensical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's it. That's our review for episode 3 of this
Sorry.
show. We're trying, people.
I think everybody else is in the same spot we are.
Yeah, everyone else who's reviewing Winter Soldier on YouTube, they're just like, oh, I wish that we weren't reviewing
I wish we
Winter
didn't
Soldier."
commit to this.
And if you are out there and you're listening to this video and you like Winter Soldier, can you tell me why?
It's got a lot of deep cuts and like fan service stuff to it with hints to the old movies and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
I know it's
But
got a lot of
we
like
need more than that.
yeah,
it's got a lot of stuff like from the comics, but also like I want that stuff, but I also want a story that I can follow and be excited about.
yeah. There's not enough excitement.
I'm
There's
sorry, I want too much.
There's not enough for me to be like, oh man, I can't wait for the next episode. Like, no, I'm good.
Yeah,
I can wait.
yeah.
It's not gonna burn me up to wait till Friday for this to come out again. So whatever. It is what it is. Okay, that's it. Where can we find everybody on the socials? Matt Vader.
You can find me at MattVader74 on the Twitter, Instagram, and the YouTube.
Cool. Jude.
You can find me at I am Jude Juju on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
Right on. Matthew Kadish.
You can find me at Matthew Kadish, Kadish on Twitter, and kadishbooks.com on Amazon.
And I am the Salty Nerd. You can catch me on Twitter at salty_nerd. And as always, stay salty, my friends.